Chapter 2. A New Sound and Old Secrets. Ahmed Siddiqui and his son Zain entered the mansion with an air of grandeur, like an emperor entering his court. Zain, accustomed to the vibrant life of London, carried a confident stride and a sharp glint in his eyes. When he looked at Alia, his gaze momentarily paused, as if he had stumbled upon an old painting. Alia, who was reluctantly dressed in silk, still exuded her simplicity and artistic soul. Her reluctant smile did not escape Zain's keen eyes. The dinner, meticulously arranged by Fariha, was filled with formal conversations. Ahmed Siddiqui extolled his son's virtues, and Fariha chimed in with agreement. Alia sat silently, her gaze fixed on her plate, her mind preoccupied with Zubaida Begum's old clock, whose chimes had filled her heart with an unsettling feeling. After dinner, as everyone sat in the drawing room, Ahmed Siddiqui casually remarked, "Zain, I hear you have a good understanding of paintings. Why don't we take a look at some of Alia's artworks?" Hearing this, a wave of happiness washed over Fariha's face, but Alia's heart momentarily stopped. She didn't like displaying her art in such a manner, especially when each of her paintings concealed a layer of her soul. But she had no choice. She led Zain to her studio. The studio was a small room, filled with the scent of paints and unfinished canvases. Zain meticulously examined each painting. There wasn't the commercial glint in his eyes that people usually display when viewing an artist's work. He felt every stroke, every color. His gaze stopped at one painting, the one with the threshold bathed in pale sunlight. "This painting, it holds a strange peace and a strange sadness too," Zain said in a low voice, as if talking to himself. "This threshold, is it a sign of some old memory?" Alia was surprised. How could someone understand her paintings with such depth? "Yes," she said softly, "it's my grandmother's threshold. She's no longer in this world." "I think your grandmother was the soul of this mansion, wasn't she?" Zain said with a faint smile. His remark startled Alia. She had never heard anyone else say that before. At that moment, Zain's eyes fell upon an old trunk in the corner of the studio. The trunk was covered with a sheer cloth and a thin layer of dust. "What is this?" Zain asked, an unknown curiosity in his voice. "It's grandmother's old trunk," Alia explained. "She used to keep her things in it. We don't know what's inside, because the key has always been missing." Zain touched the trunk. "I think there's a special secret hidden in it. Such things don't just remain locked away." Just then, Fariha's voice came from outside. "Alia, Zain, are you two still in there? It's time." Alia and Zain came out. As he left, Zain looked at Alia and said, "The depth in your paintings is something I've rarely seen. And yes, don't forget to open that trunk." There was a faint glimmer in his eyes, as if he had shared a secret. After Zain and Ahmed Siddiqui left, Fariha breathed a sigh of relief. "Thank goodness. Everything went well. I think this match will be finalized." But Alia's mind was consumed by Zain's words, the sadness of the threshold, the soul of Zubaida Begum, and the locked trunk. She felt as if Zain had awakened a new curiosity within her. She decided that very night that she had to open that trunk. It felt to her that perhaps in that very trunk lay Zubaida Begum's fragrant shawl, holding all the mansion's secrets within, and which might even open a new chapter in her own life. Alia returned to the studio that very night. She picked up the trunk. It was heavy. She felt around the trunk from all sides, as if searching for a clue. Then her fingers felt a small indent in one corner of the trunk, which was perhaps the place for a hidden keyhole. She took a thin pin from her grandmother's old bangles and tried it in that spot. There was a faint click, and the lid of the trunk opened. Inside was an old diary, some dried rose petals, and a small photograph. The photograph was of Zubaida Begum in her youth, and with her was an unfamiliar person whose identity Alia did not know. But the most astonishing thing was the diary. On the very first page of the diary, in Zubaida Begum's clear handwriting, it was written, "My dear daughter, this diary is not just your inheritance, it is your identity. It holds a secret buried within the walls of this mansion, and it is connected to your destiny." Alia's breathing quickened. She had never imagined that her grandmother would have such secrets. This diary, this photograph, and that unfamiliar person, were all these pointing towards a larger mystery? And how did Zain sense that there was something special in this trunk? Her night was filled with restlessness, And the fragrant shawl was now not just a memory, but a clue.